That was easy. Wow. Okay, well, don't do any more.
Just a little bit. Mommy. No, this is a mess.
Oops.
Yep, it's peanut turn.
Just sit over here. Okay.
Right here.
Okay.
Whoa.
Did you do it?
Mom! Go for it. Oh no, come here!
Archie. Because I was gonna order one on Amazon, but it wouldn't get here till like Sunday. Oh, that's just unacceptable. You don't need to get a lot of those, just a couple of bagels.
Take that one, come eat. You can run. Count. O-T-O-T-O-T-O-T-O. No, now she's on me. Look.
She loves you.
What the heck?
So sweet. Good to her? What's
Christmas Day!
not yet? Today, yesterday's number 1. But here's wherever you want.
Can I open one candy?
Yep, one of these is for 2.
Bill.
Yeah.
Ah, it's going off.
You guys can put stickers on them.
Mom, I want you paint. I'm gonna do this.
You can put stickers on the back and on the front. On this, and you can do some stamps on them right here. And then it makes a stamp. See?
I'm doing this.
Okay.
No.
Who wants me to write their letter first? Santa.
Me.
Okay. So you want to say,
Me.
Dear Santa.
Santa. Dear Santa.
Do you have any questions you want to ask him? Like, where do you live? Or ask him what you want?
I want a car.
Like this. And we're going to fold this part over like that. Yep. Yep. Good. Okay, and then you're
Oh, yeah, like it's a bread.
You don't like it?
Yeah. This is right, this is right, this is right. This is right.
1 chalky milk and 2 chalky milks.
Chocolate milk! And why you just like it?
I think it's good. It's not overly sweet.
Bread does taste good on you dip bread. And so,
Yes.
bread, like yummy bread.
Mm-hmm.
Like soft bread or the other bread. Bread is yum. Dip it, dip. Yummy. Let's bet they have it while we dip it. Mommy, Daddy, good, Mom.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you gonna paint ornaments on your tree?
It's gonna
yours?
Down here.
That's, yeah.
I did as much as
Did it?
I can eat the rest of it.
Can I have this though?
This one.
I'm gonna do the house first.
Okay. Doing a great job, Dean. Whole big bowl right next to you.
Look at my cookies.
Sorry.
What's your favorite part about making cookies? Cutting them out or decorating them?
Decorating this one. That one's hard. These ones not.